So, welcome to your reset. Reflections today is about taking a look at where you are in your life and where you feel unsatisfied. Like something should be different about your life, where you are in your life, as opposed to where you find yourself. And when you reach a certain age, I'm not going to define what that age is for you. You have to have lived some years, but you're probably done with schooling, official schooling like university, although you can attend university at any age. But you've got a job and you've chosen a place to live and you're going about living your life. And there's this gnawing sense in the background that may not be with you every single day, but every once in a while it'll pop up. And there'll be this sense of, I just sense that something is off. Another way of saying this is maybe I should be more than what I find myself to be. A specific example could be the weight, shoe size, not necessarily pant size, probably. Where you've achieved professionally, money in the bank. The list is long of comparison. But my point here is that you're comparing an idea you have in your mind with the reality of your life, or your viewpoint of your reality of your life, and it's not matching up. So if this is true for you, it could be useful that you just take a moment to pause and reflect, what is it about my life where I feel unsatisfied? Or where is it in my relationship to some aspect of myself that I feel unsatisfied? And if you're truly honest with yourself, this will have a greater impact. I'm not saying that's easy to do, to be honest with yourself, but when we're willing to be honest with ourselves, then that's like fuel for our own growth, because we can only grow as much as we're willing to be honest with ourselves. So that said, I suggest that you actually just pause and take a moment and notice any area of your life where you're feeling like there's a lack. Maybe you wouldn't describe it as dissatisfaction. Maybe it's discomfort. Maybe there's a sadness. Maybe there's an anger. But there's definitely something about the reality that you're living today, whether you experience that outside of yourself or within yourself, that's not matching up where you think you should be, or how your life should be, or how you think the world should be. So once you get clear on that, then take a look at, what is my perspective on where I actually am? And you write that down. And it's helpful to write it down rather than just think it through, like with a pen and paper, because then you'll see it. It's like getting out of your head and putting it on a piece of paper so it's out in physical reality, which also gives you the opportunity to take a look back at things that you've been working with. In any case, once that's clear, you'll then write down on another page where you think you should be, or how you think things should be. And once you've completed that, take a look at where you think you should be, or how you think you should be, whether it regards your self-image, beauty, weight, career, relationship, whatever context it refers to. And then you can actually ask yourself the question, says who? Where did that idea come from? Where was that idea influenced? How do we truly know what our lives should look like? What would happen if you let go of that picture in your mind of how you think you should be, how you think your life should be? My sense is that when I personally give myself permission to let go of how I think things should be, because I've become aware of how it's been influenced, and I give myself freedom to let that picture in my mind go. And the process of letting a picture in the mind go is not only working with the mind, but it's also working with the body. And there's many ways to go about that, and I won't even begin to suggest how to go about that. Because I personally believe that each person must find what works for them, and that will change over time. So to explore, how do I release the picture in my mind of how I think I should be, and release it and let it go, requires getting to the root of where it came from. And that can be facilitated with someone that you choose to be your mirror or on your own. And until you get to the root, it'll keep popping up. And getting to the root of why a knot exists takes some time, but it's quite freeing when it's been released. And simultaneously, it's super helpful if you're also releasing that knot, that stuckness, from your body. Because whatever stuckness is in the mind is also stored in the body. And so when you simultaneously release that stuckness in both body-mind, then a flow comes back. And it results in being aware of the comparison, being aware of where that comparison came from. And on the daily, just releasing it and coming back to life as it is. And giving yourself permission to design your life and live into your life as it unfolds. I don't know about you, but everything I've planned in my life has not gone as planned. Nothing about my life looks like I thought it would be. And the most incredible people and experiences whom I've encountered, I didn't plan. Now, I'm not saying that planning isn't necessary. There is a famous quote by Winston Churchill that speaks to, I'm not going to quote exactly, but something like, planning is necessary but futile. It's helpful to plan, but then once you've made the plan, release what you think it should look like. Release what you think you should look like. When you give yourself permission to live into your own personal expression, whatever that is, and allow it to be a discovery. Like, I'm not quite sure, but it's not coming from a place of doubt or fear of judgment. It's coming up from a place of pure curiosity, kind of like a child. You know, when you see children on a playground, they're just simply going about exploring. They're not worried about what other people are thinking or how they're going about doing it. It's just pure play and exploration. What would happen if in our lives we gave more room to more play and exploration? So, anytime you find yourself comparing yourself to whatever idea, picture you have in your mind of how things should be, or that you feel should not be, simply ask yourself the question, Says who? And begin that exploration process of how can I free myself from this belief system that's not supporting me in enjoying this day, this very moment I have in my life. Have you ever had the experience of looking back on pictures and saying to yourself, wow, I forgot I looked like that or dressed like that? And as you age, you can look back at pictures and be quite surprised at how young you looked. At another point, I'll do a session, a reflection on aging with grace and self-acceptance and self-love, but I'll keep it to pictures in mind and reality and freeing yourself up from those shackles today. And I do hope you find this reflection supportive. And I do hope that you'll choose to do the work with yourself, on yourself, not from a place that there's something wrong with you, but simply from a place of wanting to continue to discover just how incredible you are and how what you uniquely have to share with the world can only come from you. And what happens when you release the need for perfection, or the need for the title to share, but just simply to allow your pure expression to be shared with the world, never knowing who it may impact in a positive way.